Hey friend, Graham Cochrane here. And when you think of the word business or entrepreneurship, you might think of some new tech startup in Silicon Valley with venture capital and cool offices and a bunch of employees playing ping pong all day and making lots of money. But there's a revolution happening where the trendy new businesses to start are lean, simple, 1 or 2 person operations that can get off the ground for as little as $50. Best-selling author Chris Guillebeau calls them microbusinesses, and he and I are both big fans of the concept. In fact, I've run 2 microbusinesses myself. This is one of them. Now, Chris is the author of many books, one of which is the $100 Startup, and it is a must-read. The concept is simple, and the entire book lines up perfectly with how I view business myself. I think the subtitle of the book says it all. Reinvent the way you make a living, do what you love, and create a new future. So today, what I want to do is break down the 3 big golden nuggets of the $100 Startup and help apply them to you and your business. So let's jump in. The first golden nugget out of Chris's book is this. It's his formula for success. Your passion and skill plus usefulness equals success. Passion and skill plus usefulness equals success. Did you get that? Because ultimately, we all want to wake up and do something interesting for work. Or put more bluntly, we want to get paid to do what we love. But some people are cynical about this idea. They say that it's just like daydreaming for people who don't have what it takes to work a real job, aka a job they hate. And while I think there's always reason to be somewhat skeptical of an idea, especially if you haven't seen it work in your own life, there is a simple formula for getting paid to do what you love. And as Chris puts it, you can't just expect to get paid to do any of the things you love to do or follow any of your passions or hobbies. You have to find the intersection of your skills and passions with usefulness to others. Chris calls this concept convergence. He says convergence represents the intersection between something you especially like to do or are good at doing, preferably both, and what other people are also interested in. The easiest way to understand convergence is to think of it as the overlapping space between what you care about and what other people are willing to spend money on. So you can do this right now. Make a list of your top skills or passions, the things that you would love to build a micro business around, and then using nothing more than your brain or even some simple market research, going on social media or looking online, filter that list of what you like to do and what you want to do and what you're good at through what people are already spending money on. What are people willing to pay for? Is there overlap between your list and what people really will pull their credit cards out for? Keep in mind, sometimes some of the best micro businesses involve a stacking of multiple skills and talents that you have, resulting in a tightly defined niche that perfectly serves a specific group of people. This is called the talent stack, and it's a helpful exercise as well. And Chris goes on to clarify a bit. Not everything you are passionate about or skilled in is interesting to the rest of the world, and not everything is marketable. I can be very passionate about eating pizza, but no one is going to pay me to do it. But in the overlap between the 2 circles where passion or skill meets usefulness, a micro business built on freedom and value can thrive. Now, hopefully you're getting the concept here. We can get paid to do what we love, but we have to find what we love to do with what people find useful. And there in that intersection is where your business can thrive. That's what I've done with my 2 businesses, and that's what I see thousands of other people doing. Now, one final point that Chris makes on this topic before we move on to golden nugget number 2, and I think it's worth noting here, is that really your micro business can be built on and can thrive on not just you doing your passion or your hobby or your skill, but helping other people do that very same hobby, passion, or skill. In Chris's words, the missing piece is that you usually don't get paid for your hobby itself. You get paid for helping other people pursue the hobby or for doing something indirectly related to it. I hope you caught that. I'm a really good example of this. While I do actually get paid to record and mix bands, I've been able to make far more money helping other musicians and bands learn how to record and mix themselves, or how to record and mix other bands for a living. I've used my skill and passion for creating music to help other people realize their dream of being able to create music. The big revenue maker was not in doing the skill itself for me as much as it was helping others pursue the skill themselves. Does that make sense? Okay, golden nugget number 2 from the $100 startup is this: his promotion strategy, which involves 3 simple things: creating, connecting, and giving. So no matter how good your products or services are, how awesome your business is, no one is going to put money in your pocket if they don't know about you. So we have to get people to hear about our brand and know about our brand and our products and services and get their attention. But the big question is how? How do we promote our brand in an effective and authentic way that doesn't feel sleazy or scammy? Well, Chris explains his strategy for what he calls the subtle art of self-promotion, and it involves 3 simple components: creating, connecting, and giving. He says, what I try to do every day as a writer and entrepreneur is lots of creating and lots of connecting. Now, the connecting isn't always directly related to the work at hand. Sometimes I'm supporting other people with their hustling, but on a good day, there's plenty of creating and connecting. So the creating piece for you is your regular weekly content. Remember, the best way to get a steady stream of traffic to your website or business is to dish out a steady diet of fresh new content every single week. Whether it's blog posts, videos, podcasts, social media posts, it doesn't matter as long as it's valuable to your target market and it's fresh and new and steady every single week. The connecting piece is simple. It's simply reaching out via social media or email or text to your customers, your audience, or even other players in your niche or your space. Now, I don't like to call them competition. I like to call them collaborators. So instead of viewing them as competition, turn them into a collaborator with you. Support what they're doing, promote what they're doing, mention them, privately reach out to them and ask if you can help them in any way. And 9 times out of 10, in return, you will gain a friend, you will gain a supporter who will more than likely want to turn around and support what you're doing at some point. And the more of those connections you have, you create this army of promoters for your brand who genuinely love you, genuinely love what you're about, and are happy to mention or send an email or just retweet something. Much like content, this isn't a one and done thing. It's an ongoing process of creating real relationships with people. Now, the third and final element of his promotion strategy can be boiled down into one word, and that is giving. Giving is at the heart of every good business. Now, in the $100 startup, Chris not only shares his experience, but he interviews and shares the experience of many other micro businesses in different fields. So you get a wide variety of experiences, all sort of pointing to the common threads and the commonalities. And one of the businesses that he interviewed makes a really great point on how she uses giving to grow her business. Dress designer and entrepreneur Megan Hunt says that my marketing plan could be called strategic giving. When I launch a new line of dresses each year, I contact 2 or 3 influential bloggers and create a custom dress for them, which always brings in tons of new customers when they write about it. But most importantly, I turn my attention towards my clients. Often I upgrade someone's shipping to overnight for free, or double someone's order, or include a copy of my favorite book with a handwritten note. I like to package my products for shipping like a gift from my best friend. This strategy has been a huge contributor to fast growth and popularity in my industry. So I want to ask you, how can you over-deliver and be generous with your audience and your customers? And how can you delight them? And how can you make this an ongoing process and part of your system, not just a one and done event? And if you can combine creating regular amazing content with regular connecting to your audience, customers, and other collaborators in your space with a strategic ongoing plan of generosity, there is no reason your business cannot grow and your revenue shoot through the roof. Finally, golden nugget number 3 from Chris's book, The $100 Startup, It's that the goal of business is profit, not likes or followers. I've addressed it here before, and I'm sure I will continue to address it in the future, but the goal of your business isn't to grow a massive social media following. All that does is inflate your ego. Plus, social media is not where the money is anyway. Now, I'm glad that Chris actually addresses this in his book by zeroing in on what truly does matter in your business, which is profit. And to do this, he actually quotes a marketing expert that he hired for his own business, the founder of Itty Biz, Naomi Dunford, and she puts it beautifully. You gotta check this out. Remember that the goal of business is profit. It's not being liked or having a huge social media presence or having amazing products that nobody buys. It's not having a beautiful website or perfectly crafted email newsletters or an incredibly popular blog. In larger businesses, this is called accountability to shareholders. Business is not a popularity contest. Wow, this is so spot on. I hope you let that sink in. I know that we all want to be well thought of in the industry and be well known and have lots of followers. Those things make us feel good about ourselves, but those things aren't what make a good business. They're derivatives of a good business. They're side effects of a good business. What business really comes down to and what really matters is, are you making a profit? Are you making products or services that people really want and they're happy to pay for? And in exchange, your costs are low enough that you're making a profit on those sales. If you are able to turn a profit and satisfy those customers or clients, you are successfully running a business, no matter what the numbers are. My brand, The Recording Revolution, went from a hobby and a passion project, aka a blog and a YouTube channel, to a business the moment I made my first $45 sale on PayPal. Yes, $45 is a small amount of money, and no, $45 even back then when I was living on food stamps was not enough to pay my bills, but it was my first profit in the business, and it was basically the model of what's to come. Not much has changed in my business except for the scope and the size. It's the same formula: delivering valuable products and services to people, knowing who they are, giving them what they want, and in exchange receiving a sale and being able to keep my costs low so that the sale of the product or service gives me plenty of profit margin. And that's all I focused on. I haven't focused on growing a big YouTube following, although it has grown. I haven't focused on growing a big Facebook following, although that's grown. I haven't focused on getting in news articles or being able to contribute to the Huffington Post, although those things have happened. Those things just happened as side effects and derivatives of continuously delivering great products and services and turning a profit. Without the profit, I couldn't keep doing this every single day. I would have to go get a different job. But the profit allows me to continue to come back another day, fight for another day, which allows the business a chance to grow. So for you, I want you to focus on the right metrics: sales and revenue. Sales and revenue. Those things lead to success. Don't focus on the smoke and mirrors of social media. Sure, you might not be as well known as other businesses, but you'll be hitting your income goals. And maybe only needing to work 5 hours a week, like me, to pull it off. That's it. Those are the 3 golden nuggets from the $100 Startup. And what I love about this book is that this is the future. Micro businesses are the future. And Chris outlines not only the what of a micro business, but the how. It's not a conceptual book. It is a practical step-by-step guide to idea, to launching, to growing your micro business. It's like an MBA, but in your hand and for just like $10. From aligning your passions and skills to what people value and will pay for, to keeping your costs and even your goals low, to focusing on sharing and connecting and giving to grow your brand. It's all here. And it's all real, because I'm living proof of everything Chris teaches in this book, and you can be too. In fact, here are your next 3 steps if you're brand new to this and wondering how you can start your own micro business. I've put everything together into a free podcast that you can download and listen to called Get Paid to Do What You Love. And in this training, I walk you through how to find your profitable idea, how to grow a loyal audience, and the 6 best ways to monetize that audience so you turn your passion into a business. It's absolutely free. To download your copy of this podcast, just click the link below this video or go to grahamcochrane.com/getpaid. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing to these videos. I'm excited for your own micro business, and I'll see you on another video real soon.